According to a new study by Global Market Insights, the e-learning market is set to reach 375 billions by the year 2026. This means there are a ton of opportunities for growth and expansion for all of us. So if you've been thinking about getting a piece of this huge market for yourself, or you've been selling online courses, but you want to make sure you're staying relevant and growing as the market grows, then you should definitely watch this video. We're going to take a look at 6 trends that will dominate the e-learning industry in 2022 and way beyond, and how you can leverage these trends to make sure that your online course performs well and stands above all the rest in your industry. Ready? Let's get to it. First trend, accountability and guidance. We started seeing this trend about 4 years ago as we saw more and more courses in just about any topic you can imagine. On one side of the aisle, as course creators, we started noticing lower and lower completion rates. People enrolling into the course all excited, but then dropping off at some point and never completing the course. Now, on the other side of the aisle, people taking these courses started realizing that they need more than just the how-tos or information. They need someone by their side, holding their hands, giving them guidance and holding them accountable. As a result, it's going to get much harder to sell your course without some guidance or accountability aspect added to it, especially for courses that are in a higher price point. By adding this accountability and guidance piece to your course, you'll be able to also increase the perceived value of it. And as such, you're going to be able to ask for a higher price. Again, because you're going to be there to hold their hands to some degree and help them put into practice what you're teaching them and help them get the result that you're promising them. Now, this addition doesn't have to be complex or time-consuming. The first thing that I encourage you to do is take a look at your course curriculum and break it down into a timeline. This is really easy to do if you've structured your course content based on the results your students get versus just giving them a bunch of information. If you don't know how to do that, then I recommend watching my other video on 6 steps to creating online courses, where I talk about that in detail. When you structure your course content based on the results they get, then you can easily take a look at each of those steps that you're taking them through and figure out how long it should take them to finish that step and get the results that you're promising them. That's how you can come up with a timeline for them to go through the entire course content. From there, you can host weekly or bi-weekly live Q&A sessions when you're answering their questions, or perhaps briefly covering that topic, the task, or deliverables that they should be focusing on for that specific week. So the time investment from your end might be very minimal, like an hour or 2 hours per week during those live Q&A sessions. But as you can imagine, the perceived value is huge. And I tell you what, by adding accountability and guidance to your course, it's so much easier to put your potential students' mind at ease and give them confidence that there is someone there to guide them and hold them accountable to reach their desired results that you're promising with your course. Next trend is microlearning. Microlearning features short lessons, usually between 3 to 6 minutes, focused on one specific learning goal. Now, we started seeing this trend back in 2020 with TikTok and YouTube Shorts, where people were gravitating more and more towards short burst videos rather than long lessons. Microlearning has shown to increase engagement by more than 50%, which is huge, and also boosts knowledge retention. And it really goes hand in hand with the previous trend we just talked about. When you structure your course based on results, that means you're structuring your course based on series of tasks and activities that you need to follow to accomplish and reach that goal. So now it's really easy to take each of those tasks and activities and turn them into short lessons to help them reach that specific learning goal. Next trend is community. Again, this is something we started seeing in the last several years. And very soon, that's going to be the standard addition for a valuable course. We all thrive when we're in a community because we're all social creatures. I've seen it firsthand that my students do so much better when they're part of a community. Watching others reach a milestone, excel, and get results gives us motivation to follow the same footsteps. I've seen people partner up inside community to hold each other accountable. I've seen people come together, encourage, and help the ones who are falling behind or feeling discouraged. It's overall a very positive and a great experience for both the creator and the students. Next trend is video learning. Visual learning is powerful, and the combination of sound and visual content makes it easier for people to retain information that they're being taught. Now, perhaps 4 to 5 years ago, you could have gotten away with delivering your course using text, audio, PDF, or slides, but that's not going to cut it anymore. Video in general creates a much higher level of engagement and connectedness with your learner. You're able to easily build a connection with your students when you're on camera. They get to see you, get to know you and your personality, which goes a long way to build trust with them. Next trend is mobile friendly. According to International Telecommunication Union, there are more active mobile devices on Earth today than there are people. Can you believe it? This shows it's absolutely crucial that your lessons are mobile friendly, allowing your learners to access their course material on smartphones in the same user-friendly way as on their desktop. Making sure that you're accounting for things like the text and visuals are easy to see and read, and all the accompanying materials are easily accessible and consumable via their smartphones. Now, the last trend is game-based learning. Even with the addition of microlearning, guidance, accountability, and community, it's still really tough to keep your students interested and motivated to finish your online courses. There's just so many things competing for their attention. One simple strategy to keep them engaged and focused is through gamification. Think of your learners like players on a journey from novice to master. What you want to do is build your online learning in a way that encourages them to strive to reach the next stage by presenting a series of small but yet achievable challenges to reach a bigger goal. Some ways to do this is by using quotes to encourage and motivate them. Or you could start with a simple question or quiz at the beginning of your lesson. And the idea is that by the time they're done with that lesson, they should be able to answer that question, which gives them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes. Or perhaps rewarding them when they get to a certain step by unlocking the next lesson. Now, there's so many ways that you can add an element of gamification to your online course, but keep in mind that you shouldn't just randomly take a game and apply it to your course. Instead, try to figure out a way to use gaming elements to create a good learning experience for your learners. All right, there you have it, 6 trends to pay attention to and implement for your online course in 2020. Now, one last thing, if you're at the beginning stages of creating your online course, or you have an online course that's not selling at the level that you like, then I'd like to invite you to grab my course creation toolkit. This free course creation toolkit includes all the templates, guides, and checklists that you need to properly plan, create, market, and sell your course. All you have to do is follow the guides and templates, fill in the blanks, and you're done.